Scene doesn't contain a grammatically confusing sign that reads, "Don't dead, open inside." Smoking inside a hospital.
My unit is responsible for
securing the hospital. I know your orders. I gave them a lease.
Trying to remind your superior officer of the orders they gave you.
So today, B2, hoping for more of the same, I sent another squad down, and I put Leon in charge, because he's my best.
I think you meant he was your best, Elise. And yes, I would 100% be the grammar Nazi in a post-apocalyptic scenario.
I thought maybe he had been bit. I said, Leon, were you bit? He said it's in the air. Seal us in.
This opening scene is so chilling, and Hetine Park absolutely kills it. She makes you question whether 3 minutes of screen time is enough for an Emmy nomination.
I knew it wasn't in the vents, or we would have all been infected weeks ago.
And how convenient the airborne contaminant hasn't made it into the vents for whatever reason. But by all means, continue operating like it won't.
Hospital's a resource we can't afford to lose.
In the grand scheme of things, a hospital sitting on top of a deadly spore-filled graveyard may be something worth passing up. Otherwise, it'll just end up being a resource for the mushrooms now puppeting your once complacent bodies.
They have a big-ass generator down there. Natural gas, baby.
Forcing me to spend half an hour researching how common natural gas generators were across the Pacific Northwest in 2003, and whether natural gas breaks down like gasoline over time. And you know how we feel about research here.
Can I help? No. Why? Because I'm stupid?
Episode has time for this.
Ellie.
Yes?
When Ellie met Dina. Also, quick question. If the two of them have relocated to this theater now, who's watching Shimmer? I presume she was left locked up in the music store. Does she even have food? Is she just standing there shitting on all the vinyl? I'm starting to think Ellie's superpower is less being immune to cordyceps and more finding playable guitars wherever she goes.
They're pretty evenly spread out, so they're watching that entire area. But there's a gap between here and here.
Thinking that this is an appropriate time to go shopping at the Gap. Maybe wait until after the revenge quest, Dina?
So maybe it's a warehouse or something.
It's a big f***ing something for them just to ignore.
We'll find out later that this building is full of stalkers, and I can't help but wonder why the building isn't being watched constantly to make sure the nest doesn't move or grow. Leaving it unguarded seems like a huge misstep on the WLF's part.
You ever hear of Amish people?
Amish people? No.
First, we find out there was no education given on the gay pride flag post-apocalypse, and now we find out no Amish survived? I feel like the Amish would have been the most likely to survive. They're ones that actually know how to function in a world without power.
I trust you. I don't trust Seattle.
Spokane, Washington's official motto somehow makes its way into the episode.
What are you going to name it?
Referring to a human child as it. It's not a demonic clown living in the sewer, Ellie. Although I guess that could be a plotline for season 3. It's the comma after "feel this" that really sells this graffiti for me. You just executed around 10 people via firing squad, but you're not so lost in bloodlust and hatred that you forgot that vocative comma.
We've all heard everyone's stories. How do you think this one goes?
I don't know. Raiders?
Thinking the Raiders would move from Oakland to Santa Fe. Come on, Ellie, don't be ridiculous. The Raiders would never leave Oakland behind, right?
How did you get to Jackson?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because why would anyone want to see the daring escape Dina made after her family was butchered by a bunch of raiders? Let's instead dedicate the next hour of Last of Us to find out how Joel taught Ellie to play guitar.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want. There's no right answer.
Being on the receiving end of this conversation too many times in past relationships. I can tell you for a f***ing fact there is a right answer, and I will never under any circumstances be able to choose correctly.
Keep going.
At least for the next 15 minutes before you're removed from the episode by force.
I'm gonna take a peek.
Yeah, you should do that. Because you're the one who can't get infected.
Ellie throws this immunity around like she can't be killed. But she can absolutely be killed. Most of these spore zombies don't just take one bite and move on. Just because one can't get infected doesn't mean one can't get eaten.
Last resort. I got it.
Oh, so Ellie has no f***ing clue who the Amish are, but she's super fluent in Papa Roach. I know they've talked at length about why this place was abandoned by the WLF, but it still doesn't make that much sense. I mean, look at the place. It's free real estate. Did the WLF not take it back from the infected because they knew Ellie and Dina would need to have somewhere spooky to wander through?
Do you hear something?
Dina definitely just heard an obnoxious person ask, "Do you hear something?" breaking her concentration on the thing she was actually listening for.
What the f*** is that? And why is it hiding?
Asking silly questions instead of just getting the f*** out of the room into safety. Who are you, Dina? Dora the Explorer?
I think it's a smart one. Like the one that stalked me at the supermarket.
Okay, but you kill that one, so we can kill this one too, right?
Thinking that all results achieved by the protagonist are instantly repeatable.
Now that f***er's gonna try to flank us. So I say we flank it first. We split up.
Characters in horror scenarios in the year of our Lord 2025 still believing that splitting up is a good idea.
Go!
Sure was nice of the spore zombies to wait for Ellie and Dina to make a plan and kiss. Not only are these the smart ones, but they're apparently full of compassion as well. Jesse Ex Machina.
The park! We can lose them in there! Come on!
Stealing your escape strategy from Home Alone 2.
Stop! We don't go in there.
Shouldn't the rest of the squad know that, or are you just telling them you don't go in there? And why not? Spending time in nature is very important for mental and physical health. Can't be all firing squads and burn pits.
How did you find us?
The map you left in the theater.
But how would Jesse know if the map was new or old? How did he know Dina made that map? What would he have done if Dina and Ellie decided to go back for Shimmer instead of leaving for the warehouse when they did? There are just too many variables that I'll have to file under This Works.
He is nested in sin.
Nested? Is there a requirement for creepy cult leaders that all their dialogue must be cranked up to 11 on the obtuse verbiage scale? Building an intricate pulley system to disembowel people. It's both impressive and unnecessarily convoluted and lazy.
How are you free?
Bring a person in the same way you'd prep a fish for market.
I'll leave them away. Get her out.
Ellie living under the belief that being immune to cordyceps is the same thing as being immune to arrows.
May she guide us.
May she guide us.
Creepy cults converse creepy catchphrases. Cliche. Ellie conveniently finding a perfectly hollow tree stump to hide in seconds before being caught is convenient.
Come on, Bonnie.
Naming your dog after a Vampire Diaries character and picking Bonnie instead of... No, wait. Bonnie was the right choice. So here's a sin for Caroline and Elena not measuring up to her.
It was a critter or something. All clear.
Or something? Or something? Are you on patrol to let or somethings get by you? What if it was one of those smart infected? Or a petite young lady with a death wish?
You remember me?
Damn. Not only does Ellie get into the hospital undetected, but she winds up in the exact room Nora's about to show up in. If there's a Seattle Powerball still going on, Ellie needs to play it today.
Hey! Shoot her!
These WLF guards clearly attended the Stormtrooper School for Aiming at Things. Also, Nora's going to lead Ellie away from the guards instead of just taking cover nearby, enabling them to gun Ellie down. Nora likes a good chase that ends in her death, apparently.
It's open! The fucking shaft is open! Seal up the hallway!
If keeping the shaft closed was this important, then why wasn't the fucking hallway already sealed off? The idea of fungi and spores growing on surfaces can't be this big of a reveal, right? It's kind of what fungi and spores do. This episode's acting like people being able to breathe in this shit and get infected is a new discovery, and that can't be the case. This power switch is set to red mood lighting, the perfect mood lighting for all your spore-infected discoveries.
You killed us both. Did I?
You did not. This was the way Nora chose to run, and damn it, Nora, I'm gonna need you to take some responsibility for running into these convenient and creepy plot reveals.
The immune girl, you're real.
Will every episode this season just be build up to some other character having the realization that Ellie is immune to the bites? Because that's a choice.
That was Abby's father. And Joel. Joel shot him in the head.
That's why we decided to torture Joel instead of granting him the same quick end he gave to Abby's father, because we're good people.
Where's Abby?
Does Ellie honestly think that Nora's going to tell her where Abby is after Ellie's reveal of knowing that Joel murdered Abby's father? Why is this question?
Where is she?
In an episode filled with rotting corpses, disembowelment, sneaky mushroom people, and fungi murals, this is the part that disturbed me the most, and this is sin removal impressive. But also stealing your lines from Batman.
Hey, kiddo.
I understand this is a lead up to a flashback episode, but the series testing our intelligence by treating this moment like Bobby Ewing just got out of the shower is very fucking annoying.
Is there air? You don't know!
I'm sorry about your son.
We don't have a son.
Hey, candy cane.
Can I help? No. Why? Because I'm stupid?
Did I stutter?
Ellie.
Yes.
Come with me if you want to live.
The park! We can lose them in there!
Grown men come in the park and don't leave alive.
You killed us both.
I missed the part where that's my problem.